All right, so welcome to our Monday night team call. I'm excited that it's back to Monday. I hope you guys are having a great week so far and that you're ready and focused on where you're headed, not only this week, but also this month. So earlier today, I posted a little clip with you guys because I've been reading this book, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I don't know if any of you have read it, but honestly, anything with John Maxwell is absolutely incredible. He is brilliant, and he has honestly dedicated his life to adding value to others. If you know anything about him, he actually started out as a pastor, and that's what he wanted to do, and then it really grew into adding value to people and helping people achieve their goals. I'm actually going to close my Facebook app so it doesn't disturb us later. So it's just really interesting hearing his testimony and hearing his story, how he's pretty much evolved. I know it's going to be so good, Tish. You're going to love it. So I've read like plenty of books. I'm sure many of you have read. One of my favorite ones we did a study on was 21 Irrefutable Laws, which he touches on that a little bit tonight. But I was like, are you showing me your pen, Roxy? It looks pretty. Adjusting the camera. All right, so today, when I was reading the thing about dreaming big, I was like, yes, this is perfect. When he was talking about dreaming big and knowing that sometimes it's going to be difficult and sometimes you're going to have like the world against you and you're not going to know which way to go, which way to turn. But he emphasizes on focusing on what are you put on this earth to do? What is your calling in life? And I know that all of us are on this Plexus journey together. And I know 100% without a doubt that all of us are on this journey. Our teams and our family members and friends are on this journey, not by chance, but by divine appointment. And I honestly believe that, not only to help people, with their health and with their financial opportunity, but different things like that. It's okay. It's all right, Margie. You're on it, my dear. But to really focus on what your calling is and what desire, the Lord has put on your heart to do and to fulfill, and how to do that. And really, if you want to go a step further, to think, how do I unravel that? How do I know that I'm actually pursuing what I should be doing and what I'm called to do? So I'm kind of titling this call tonight is to begin pursuing your calling and to understand what that is. So in this book, and one of the chapters, he's talking about the law of awareness. So there's 15 invaluable laws of growth, which we all know growth is amazing. It's great personally, professionally, business-wise. There's a lot of great things that come with it. But there are 4 keys you have to focus on when you are pursuing your calling in life, your calling in this business. And I really feel and believe with my whole heart that this business is an avenue. It is a vehicle for so many of us, which we've seen many Jewel ambassadors, many other ambassadors pursue their calling in life because of this business. So the first one is having awareness of what your calling is and what you're meant to do. So the first thing is to be aware of the choices you lead and that lead you away from where you want to go. So each day, whether it's putting off the things that you could do, maybe your income producing activities, or calling that friend up to check on them and see how they're doing, maybe reading that book, maybe sticking to that schedule that you made for yourself but putting it off for the next day. Being aware of the choices you make each day and where that's leading you to or away from. And the second thing within awareness is being conscientious of every single choice you make, which is like, what? How do I do that? How am I going to be aware of the choices that I make? So the choices that you make today, I would say, obviously you don't have to track like, oh, what am I going to eat for lunch today? That's obviously irrelevant. Okay, we're not going to get that deep. But being conscientious of the choices that you make so that you're making smarter choices that are moving you forward in your goal to fulfilling your calling. And I'm going to read a little part. It's in chapter 3, and he says, you cannot change direction if you aren't aware that you're not headed where you want to go. So first and foremost, ladies, we have to know, where are we headed? What am I doing? Why am I on this journey? Where am I going in this? Which we addressed last week and many, many times about our why. What are we working towards? Where are we going? But to understand that every single choice we make, the actions we do each day, it's either leading you towards your calling or pulling you away from that. So the first thing is to be aware of where you're going and what you're doing, your choices, and being conscious of them. The second thing is, one of my favorites, is action. You cannot win if you do not begin, okay? So the first thing is, you got to take initiative. You got to move forward and be like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is my calling, whether it's, earning $300 extra a month, or, being able to pay for your kids' orthodontist bill, or to quit one of your part-time jobs that you have, or to fully retire yourself, or to retire yourself, or whatever the case may be, whatever your calling is. And we talked about that last week, is that it's going to evolve over time, but I want you to get the big picture, of, just like John Maxwell, I wanted to add value to people's lives. I wanted to be a life-changing agent for people. And ultimately, I know for myself, this is me, that I have a massive heart for missions, and I am drawn to that. I really feel like that is a calling that the Lord has laid on my life, and something that I want to continue to pursue, with Plexus being that help agent in that journey. But I want to be able to give, and to be able to, not financially, but overall, like spiritually, to be able to bless other people, pour into people's lives, and to obviously to add value to others and to be a blessing. So you have to take action. Once you know what it is, you have to take actions towards that. So take the initiative daily. And the second thing is, do something specific every single day that takes you closer to your goals. So how that translates with our business is doing your income producing activity. Are you following up with people? Are you expanding your network? Are you growing yourself personally? Are you learning professionally? And you guys, I've said this time and time again. I know many of your sponsors and your leaders have said it too. When you take the time to develop yourself, that is the biggest blessing you can do for yourself and for your team, because you cannot pour into someone else if you do not have it. You see what I'm saying? If I don't have the knowledge and resources, how am I gonna help my team? If I don't know product information, it could be as simple as that. I can't help you if I don't know what alpha lipoic acid is in the Plexus Slim. You see what I'm saying? You have to know in order to pour into other people, in order to give that. So make sure that you're taking the actions daily in order to do that. And even Darren Hardy, if you guys know him, he is the publisher of Success Magazine, and he takes it like really extreme. He says, you know what? He says, track every action you do every single day. As monotonous as it is, track, your morning schedule, where you went to lunch, all those kind of things. Just write it down, which seems super ridiculous and silly. But he says, track it, look every day, every week, and see if your daily actions are moving you towards your calling and your fulfillment, what you have been put on this earth to do. And if there's a disconnect, you need to reassess and change it. But I know that sounds a little crazy, but it really has a good point to say, okay, what actions am I doing? And it's not saying that you have to do Plexus 100% of the day or self-development 100% of the day, but you want to make sure that you're doing those steps daily, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. It depends on, your schedule. You must be doing something every single day if you want to get out from where you are and you want to move forward to your goal. So that was the second one, is action. Take action. The third one is another favorite, is accountability. Make your goals public. I know every month we talk about goal setting. We ask, you guys to share your goals. I know before I was chatting with Danielle Hartog earlier about her goals, and I was like, okay, awesome. What are your action steps behind that? Because just because you write them doesn't mean They're just going to be there. They're going to be on my board, like, awesome. They could just sit there. But if I don't have any action steps, girl, they're not going to get done. They're just going to sit there. Those boxes are going to be empty. I'm not going to be focused. So I need to say, okay, I'm telling my sponsor, Stephanie, I'm telling my BFF, I'm telling my husband, I'm telling people what I'm doing, what I'm setting out to do this month to keep me accountable. And did you know that when you share that with someone, it almost forces you and makes you have pressure. Oh shoot, I got to get this done. I mean, you guys, what did we do when we were in like high school or elementary school? Well, we had to turn in our homework that Friday or do that report or whatever. And our parents were honest, oh, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. So you have to have that accountability even now as adults to get your goals and things done. So if you don't have one yet, I would ask and encourage you to enlist someone that you can be accountable to, and someone who believes in you and who wants you to be successful. Now, I probably wouldn't tell people who think this Plexus thing is ridiculous or think my goals are ridiculous or whatever. I want someone who believes in me, believes in my goals and my aspirations, and is going to encourage me along the way, but also give me that tough love when I need it. So a lot of times it could be your upline, it could be your sponsor, it could be a sideline sister, it could be a running partner you have with you in the business. It doesn't matter, but I encourage you to have someone to help hold you accountable. Okay, and I was just saying that process forces you to be conscientious of your decisions. So, okay, I was just making sure I was keeping track of that. So the third one was accountability. And the last one is attraction. This is so good, you guys. So if you haven't read the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership with John Maxwell, it is a life changer. Honestly amazing, especially as you continue to grow your business, but even and more importantly, to grow yourself, to grow your self-esteem, to grow your leadership, your confidence, who you are as an individual, and to embrace those things and to embrace the uniqueness of you. So the fourth one is attraction. I don't know if you've heard this, but he talks about the law of magnetism. Who you are is who you attract, both positively and negatively. If you're a complainer and you complain and you're like, oh, the sky is falling, I don't have money to pay this or pay that or whatever, but then, someone try to gives you a help or, opinion of how to get out of that rut, it's just going to go down that road and you're going to attract complainers. You're going to attract those people who you are. The same thing is if you're a grower and you're developing yourself, you're going to attract growers and developers and people who want to succeed. Who you are is who you attract. Just like the old saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. So, and I would say a lot of us are on this journey. Like, yes, exactly. The power of positivity. You are right on, Sarah. Because I would say, I'm not a perfect person in the least. Even though I've been on this journey almost 2.5 years now, 2.5 years, I'm still developing. I'm still growing. And we're going to until the day we die, you guys. Like this journey is not over until the good Lord calls us home. So you want to make sure that you're developing yourself, you're growing yourself, and you're attracting the people of who you want in your life. And that even goes a step further. Maybe, you have friends or family who are negative, maybe don't support you, maybe, kind of drag you down in a sense. You can limit your time with those people. You don't have to surround yourself with them constantly, even if it's close friends or family members. You can limit your time with them. And I know that kind of sounds like, oh my gosh, it's kind of terrible, but really, when you're around, like, let's just say someone who doesn't talk very well, like who has a bad mouth, you can kind of almost feel like, oh, like I kind of feel dirty when I'm around them. And even sometimes it can affect your language and how you speak. So, I mean, that's a perfect example of saying who you are and who you're around is who you attract. So make sure that you're attracting positive people who are on that journey with you to growing and becoming better. So those are the four little steps that I wanted to share with you: awareness, action, accountability, and attraction. And as you're on the last one with attraction, I'm just going to say this. as you're on the journey, you're still going to be growing yourself and be like, oh, I didn't want to do that. That's totally fine. But maybe you can also talk with your accountability partner, someone that's holding you accountable for your goals, and maybe hold you accountable for, look at your strengths and your weaknesses, you guys, and know them. Because if you know yourself, you can grow yourself. You have to understand who you are, where the areas that you're weak, and know also, wherever you're weak, you're never going to be a strength. Understand the weakness, but hone in, focus on those strengths and say, oh, okay, I kind of complain or I doubt myself. A lot of times I would apologize, you guys. I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, like for the stupidest things, and I would apologize. I'm not even kidding you. Like my friends and my family know this about me because I would just apologize. I want people to like me. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to offend you. But it's just a silly, stupid example. But no, I don't have to, I don't have to do that. That obviously doesn't serve me. But to be aware of the things that you do and know, okay, I'm just going to keep track of that and hopefully, work on that. So I'm not going to be a complainer or apologize all the time or whatever the case may be. Fill in the blanks for yourself and the things that you do and have, to work on and to growing yourself. What I'll kind of end on is do not wait to fulfill and begin the journey and the process of your calling, you guys. Whatever it may be, if you think it's a ginormous, like Mount Everest, you're like, I don't know how I'm ever going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. John Maxwell said when he was beginning, they want him to be a pastor of this huge church. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I just barely got out of school to do this. But he said, you know what? Nobody ever got ready by waiting. You only get ready by starting. So even if you have no idea what you're doing, where you're going, I have no idea. You have no navigation. Get started. Whatever your goal is and your calling, focus on that and be like, okay, like that little trail, you're just going to begin going on that trail. Even if you have no idea what you're doing, you have people who are alongside you, who are encouraging you and supporting you along. We are here as a team to to encourage you along your journey. So I'm going to leave you guys with 7 questions. Yes, 7, okay? So these will help you to hone in on your calling and to see, okay, to kind of focus in on that. Let them marinate, I like to say. Just let them sit and process in your mind where you're going, what you want to do. So the first thing, if you don't know already, is what would you like to do? If money and time were no object, what would you like to do? If degree, education, whatever experience is not an option, has no factor, what do you want to do? Write that down. The second one is what talents, skills, and opportunities do you possess that support your desire to do it? So whatever your calling is, what would you like to do? What talents and skills do you have? What are you really good at that support that calling in your life? If you want to, I don't know, want to be a doula, like, I don't know, wherever it is for you. And I want you to be honest with yourself. And if you're unsure, just write them down. But I encourage you guys to take time to understand that, because it's going to help you personally as well as professionally in your business to help you, okay, hone in, this is what I'm pushing for. So the first one is, what would you like to do? The second one is, what talent, skills, and opportunities do you possess that support your desire to do it? The third one, what are your motives for wanting to do it? Why is this something you need to fulfill? Why is this calling on your heart? What possessed you to think of this? Because I feel like, yes, with me, I know that the Lord made missions on my heart, but why? Why is that a calling for me? Why is that on my heart to pursue? So I want you to write that down for yourself. So what are your motives for wanting to do it? The fourth one is, what steps must you take starting tonight, girls, to start doing what you want to do? What steps must you take starting today to start doing what you want to do? And that includes awareness, action, accountability, and attraction. So what steps do you need to take to start doing what you want to do? To do that calling, the number one, what do you want to do? The fifth one is, whose advice can you get to help you along the way? Whose advice can you get to help you along the way? Can your sponsor help you? Can your upline help you? Maybe a family member, a close friend, a pastor, a counselor. Who do you know that can help you along the way to fulfill your calling? The sixth one, this is a good one, guys. What price are you willing to pay? What will it cost you in time, resources, and sacrifices? I'll repeat it. What price are you willing to pay? What will it cost you in time, resources, and sacrifices? That's a good one because it's hard. Because Lord knows we can want it as much as we want, but then when the hard times come, we get a little scared. Let's back it up. Let's rewind. It's a little scary, but it's not going to be easy. But we all know it's going to be 100% worth it when you're in and walking in that calling. And then the last one is right now in your life and your journey, where do you most need to grow? Where do you most need to grow? He says you must focus on your strengths and overcome any weaknesses that would keep you from reaching your goal. So where do you most need to grow? And sometimes it takes a little talking to and understanding. And maybe if you're like, oh, I need to understand this, I need to chat with someone, talk with your friend, talk with your upline or your sponsor. We're here to help you guys. Because here's the thing, you guys, we're all on this journey together. Yes, we love Plexus, fabulous, I love it. But we all have different callings and giftings and talents and abilities. And I want you guys to use them how God has gifted you to do that, because we're all different. We all have different things that we have to offer. And I and your upline and sponsors would be doing you a disservice if we did not encourage you to walk and pursue the calling that you guys have on your lives. Does anybody need me to repeat any of the questions? Very good. I can post them. On the page as well. I'll do it after I post the link to the call tonight. All right.
Sarah, I need number 6.
Okay, number 6. Perfect. So number 6 is, what price are you willing to pay? And then the second part to number 6 is, what will it cost you in time, resources, and sacrifices? So a sacrifice could be, instead of, watching my favorite movie, I'm going to be focusing and doing the self-development. Instead of doing that, I'm going to be hopping on this team call. Instead of doing that, I'm going to go to this conference, go to this networking meeting, or, that's, looking at, in a small microscope. But what is it going to cost you in time, resources, and sacrifices? Because it's not going to come easy at all. But I will leave you with this little nugget. I'm trying to remember who wrote it. I don't know who the actual author of this statement is, but they say there are 2 most important days in a person's life: the day that they were born and the day they understand why. And I 100% firmly believe that. I know that we are not put on this earth by just because we're a gift to our parents, but I think that we all have a calling and a purpose. And it's our job to understand why. What am I supposed to do? And it could be many things. It could be, a whole list of things. It doesn't have to be just one small thing. But I encourage you guys to look inside yourself. You look in your heart. Maybe if you need help with those answering questions, talk with your spouse or close friend, someone who knows you and supports you and loves you and wants you to see those callings fulfilled in your life. All right. So that's the gist of our call tonight. I hope that it was beneficial for you guys and motivating and encouraging for you and challenges you to take a look deeper at yourself, why you're on this Plexus journey and where you're going, and really focusing on, what am I working towards? What do I want to do? And for some of us, we don't even know yet. And even if we want to take that a step further, we can say, well, this is what I think it is. And then as we kind of unpeel the onion, so to speak, then you see, oh, wow, it's really this. This is why I'm here. This is what I'm meant to do. So thank you guys for hopping on.